Indiana just made a statement to the entire college football world, guys. Just an absolute statement. And we said this a couple weeks ago, and people kind of laughed at us and they said, oh, it's Illinois. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. We said when we watched that game against Illinois, it was different. It was not the same Indiana team that we saw at times last year. They operated with high level efficiency, and I have respect for Illinois' program. That's a good football team. So when they went and beat Illinois the way they beat them, I said, I think Indiana's a legitimate national championship contender, and everybody laughed. Well, look who's laughing now. Number 7 Indiana marches right into the deafening confines of Autzen Stadium and hands Oregon their first defeat in Big Ten conference play. This is Indiana's first win against an AP top 5 team since 1967. It's only their second win ever, their first one by double digits. And it wasn't so much that they won the game, it was the way they won the game. And in watching it back, it was everything I thought it was going to be when I was watching it live. I sat there in the booth watching this game throughout. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man alive, Indiana is pushing people around. Like, they are moving and reestablishing the line of scrimmage. They are creating and winning those one-on-one matchups on the outside. Like, this is a very repeatable recipe. We'll start with their quarterback because I think Fernando Mendoza is incredible. One thing I love about watching him, he forces you to cover every square inch of the field. Like, we know he can throw the deep ball over the top. We've seen that. We know he can throw the out-breaking route outside the numbers from the opposite hash. The guy can throw it 40 yards in the air and put it on a dime exactly where it needs to be. We know he can throw back shoulder, so he can beat you over the top. He can beat you underneath. And we also know, too, that if you get too aggressive when pursuing their running backs in a zone read set, you crash. He can pull, and he can create with the zone legs as well. His mobility makes him very, very unique. And there were several times in this game in which his first read wasn't open. There were a handful of times in which he had to get to 2, to 3, to 4, get all the way through his progression, and he's finding an outlet at some point or another. So the other thing I really appreciate too, like when they win in the back end, for example, they call the right defense. It's 3rd and 4. Boom, he'll take off. He sees it. He doesn't waste time. He just gets right through the progression and goes. It's really, really impressive. I also love Elijah Surratt. Like, this guy is one of the best receivers I've seen all season long. He's been outstanding the last 2 years. I think he's one of the best back shoulder receivers I've seen in quite some time. Anytime you're trying to play over the top, he'll be right on the back hip. Like, he always wins. It's almost like clockwork. And if he doesn't win, he draws a pass interference. And he drew 2 or 3 in the game this weekend. I love the way Black runs, their running back. I love the way Hemby runs. Their offensive line's moving people off the ball. They play with a tremendous amount of toughness. Their scheme is awesome. And then defensively, guys, they just do all the little things right. Like, every single thing that they do defensively, whether it's creating havoc with movement and allowing those linebackers to fill, whether it's calling a timely pressure, even if it's just leveraging the football on a jet sweep, like, they always play really well together. They're extremely well coached. And yeah, they got a couple times in the run game. Like, it happens when you have guys moving and you're this aggressive defensively, you're going to get got a couple times. It happens. But if you look at kind of how things went and how they affected Dante Moore in this game, this defense played out of their mind. And you got to really tip your cap to Curt Cignetti. As much as anything else, we know for sure that he's one of the best talent evaluators in the sport, right? Like, we know that. And all you got to do is just look at the personnel that he recruited at James Madison, how he brought most of those guys from James Madison to Indiana, and they won immediately. And now, after a lot of turnover from last year to this year, he goes out and identifies key pieces like a Fernando Mendoza, like a Roman Hemby, like a handful of others that have now come, like a handful of offensive linemen, a few guys defensively. They go out and they find guys that they can plug and play, and they don't skip a beat. You know he's one of the best talent evaluators, but man, I think there are so many people that will be watching this Indiana program very closely. Everyone's going to be in pursuit of Curt Cignetti, by the way. Every job that opens, the first call people might make is to Curt Cignetti. Will it materialize? I don't know. He's got a pretty good thing going at Indiana naturally. He's got a lot of support, and they got a lot of really, really good momentum going right now. But everyone's going to be calling him. But every single athletic director in the country and head coach in the country will be studying his process, the quote Cignetti effect. How can we do more as a team, maybe with less than stellar 5-star potential players? You don't necessarily need to have 22 draft picks on your team to have a really good college football team. That's what Indiana is. They are elite. They are absolutely a national championship contender. And Curt Cignetti is one of the best coaches in America.